Welcome to our deep dive today.
Okay.
Where we're going to be exploring Exodus chapter 15
All right.
from the King James Version of the Bible.
Sounds good.
This chapter really takes us on an emotional roller coaster with the Israelites.
Yeah.
From the peak of joy after crossing the Red Sea
Right.
to the very real struggles they face in the wilderness.
Uh-huh.
So I'm so curious to see how this chapter unfolds.
What's fascinating is that the chapter doesn't just tell the story.
Yeah.
It really dives into the complexities of faith.
Okay.
You know, the Israelites experienced this incredible miracle,
Right.
but then almost immediately
Yeah.
their faith is put to the test.
Yeah.
It really makes you wonder, how does trauma, like what they endured in Egypt,
Yeah.
affect someone's ability to trust, even when they've seen God's power firsthand?
Well, we start with the Israelites bursting into song after the Red Sea crossing.
Yeah.
Talk about a powerful moment. They really let loose with that.
Oh.
The Song of Moses. Praising God's strength.
Yes.
And recounting how he threw the Egyptians into the sea.
It's more than just a song, though.
Oh.
The Song of Moses is considered a masterpiece
Yay.
of ancient Hebrew poetry. And it's really, it's vivid imagery, like describing the depths, covering the Egyptians like a stone,
Right.
really highlights God's awesome power.
Yeah.
The way the song is structured, with its call and response pattern,
Right.
also emphasizes the communal nature of this experience. It wasn't just Moses singing.
Right.
It was the entire nation raising their voices in unison.
And the song has resonated throughout history, becoming a cornerstone of Jewish tradition. It's recited during Passover Seders,
Right.
reminding people of God's deliverance and the enduring hope that it represents. But it's not just about the past.
Right.
The themes of liberation and redemption found in the song continue to inspire people of all faiths today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this shared experience is further emphasized with Miriam the prophetess and Aaron's sister
Right.
leading the women in their own celebration.
Yeah.
It's amazing how the text specifically mentions her response, mirroring the theme of victory
Right.
and driving home the point that this was a moment of collective joy
Yeah.
and affirmation of their faith.
This scene with Miriam also underscores the vital role women played in expressing their religious faith and leadership. But then after this incredible high,
Right.
things take a turn.
Yeah.
Right? The Israelites journey into the wilderness of Shur and immediately hit a snag finding water.
Yep.
This is where we encounter Mara, which literally means bitter.
Right.
And it becomes more than just a geographical location.
Their arrival at Mara is like a microcosm of the human experience. You know, one minute you're on top of the world celebrating a triumph, and the next you're smacked with a very real, very basic need.
Right.
The bitterness of the water really mirrors their emotional state.
Right.
Their sudden shift from exhilaration to despair.
And I think it's really interesting that they complained to Moses,
Yeah.
doubting God's provision. I mean, haven't they just witnessed one of the greatest miracles of all time?
Right.
It makes me wonder about the psychology of doubt.
This is where we see the lingering effects of trauma.
Okay.
Centuries of slavery, of being denied basic freedoms and dignity, likely shaped their worldview. It's not surprising that even after witnessing God's power, their default response was fear and mistrust. Their faith was still fragile in its infancy.
So even though they were physically free from Egypt, they were still carrying the emotional and psychological baggage of their past. That must have made it really hard to fully embrace this new chapter of their lives.
It's a powerful reminder that freedom isn't just about breaking physical chains. It's about breaking the chains of fear, doubt, and ingrained patterns of thinking. It's a process, a journey, not a destination.
And for the Israelites, that journey includes a crucial stop at Marah,
Yeah.
where God establishes a covenant with them.
Right.
This is more than just God handing down a set of rules. It's about forming a relationship,
Yes.
a partnership based on mutual trust and responsibility.
This covenant, with its specific terms and conditions,
Right.
really lays the foundation for their future as a nation.
Yeah.
The terms highlight the importance of obedience,
Okay.
of aligning their actions with God's will.
Uh-huh.
It's interesting that God doesn't just say, follow me and you'll be blessed.
Right.
He specifically connects their obedience to health and well-being, stating, I am the Lord that healeth thee. This sets the stage for the Israelites' understanding of God as not just a deliverer, but a healer, a protector, a source of life and sustenance.
It's like this covenant was meant to be a roadmap for them.
Absolutely.
A way to navigate the uncertainties of their new reality. They were starting from scratch, and this was God's way of saying, I'm here, I'll guide you. But you have a role to play too. It's not just about receiving blessings. It's about active participation in building a new life, a new society.
And that active participation begins with acknowledging their need for healing. God doesn't shy away from the reality that they're a wounded people, both physically and emotionally. But he offers a solution, a path toward wholeness and restoration through obedience and trust.
So even in the wilderness, even in their moments of doubt and despair, God was laying the groundwork for something bigger, something more lasting. He was inviting them into a relationship, offering them healing, and showing them how to build a future based on faith and obedience.
The story of Mara is ultimately a story of hope and transformation. It's about a God who meets us in our brokenness, offers us healing, and empowers us to build a better future.
It's an incredible reminder that even when we face challenges and our faith wavers, God is there working to guide us towards a deeper understanding of his love and grace.
Absolutely.
But their journey isn't over yet. After the bitterness of Mara, the Israelites continue on and eventually reach Elim. I'm curious to see how this next stop shapes their journey.
Elim offers a stark contrast to the hardships of Mara. And I think exploring this shift will reveal another layer of meaning in their wilderness experience.
All right.
Sounds good. Welcome back.
All right, so
as we journey with the Israelites from the bitter waters of Mara, their arrival at Elim feels like a collective sigh of relief. Can you imagine stumbling upon this oasis after the harshness of the wilderness with 12 wells of water and 70 palm trees?
It's like stepping into a postcard after a long, difficult journey. But it's more than just a picturesque rest stop, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The number 12, representing the 12 tribes of Israel, points to God's provision for each and every one of them. It's like a visual reminder of his promise to care for his people, a promise initially articulated in the covenant at Mara.
It's almost like God is saying, see, I keep my promises. I provide not just enough, but an abundance. This imagery of the 12 wells and 70 palm trees.
That must have been so powerful for the Israelites.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially coming right after the scarcity and desperation they felt at Mara.
Exactly. Elim is a tangible manifestation of God's faithfulness. A concrete example of his blessings. It reinforces the cyclical nature of their journey. Hardship followed by provision, doubt followed by reassurance, but it also points to something even greater. A foreshadowing of the promised land. A land flowing with milk and honey, awaiting them at the end of their journey.
It's interesting how this one chapter, Exodus 15, captures this back and forth between struggle and provision, doubt and faith. It seems so relatable even thousands of years later.
It really is.
Don't we all go through our own personal Maras and Elims?
We absolutely do. Those moments when we feel lost, overwhelmed, questioning everything, those are our Maras.
But then there are those unexpected blessings, those glimpses of hope and reassurance that remind us we're not alone. Those are our Elims.
I love that. And just like the Israelites, sometimes our Elims come right after we've been in the depths of despair. Those moments when our faith is truly tested, it's as though God is saying, hang on, I'm here, I see you, and I haven't forgotten you.
What's crucial, though, is how the Israelites respond to both the hardship and the abundance. At Mara, they complain, they doubt, they test God's patience. But at Elim, we don't hear any grumbling. They seem to accept the blessings with gratitude. recognizing them as a gift from God.
It makes me think about how we respond to the challenges and blessings in our own lives. Do we allow hardship to embitter us?
Right.
To erode our faith? Or do we see it as an opportunity for growth?
Yeah.
For learning to trust in God's provision?
Right.
And when blessings come, do we receive them with open hands, recognizing the hand of God at work?
Those are really important questions to ponder.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, our journey of faith isn't just about reaching a destination.
Right.
It's about how we navigate the terrain along the way.
Yeah.
How we respond to the highs and lows, the unexpected turns.
Exodus 15 offers a powerful roadmap for that journey, reminding us that faith isn't about a constant, unwavering belief. Yeah. It's about learning to trust in God even when we doubt, even when we're afraid, even when we're in the wilderness.
And it's about recognizing that God is always with us, guiding us, providing for us, shaping us through every experience, both the bitter and the sweet.
It's such a rich and complex chapter.
Yeah.
It's packed with layers of meaning that continue to resonate today as we wrap up this part of our deep dive.
Okay.
I'm curious to hear your final thoughts on Exodus 15 and its enduring message. What do you think is the most important takeaway for our listener? As we wrap up our deep dive into Exodus 15, I'm struck by how this chapter, nestled within the Old Testament, seems to ripple outward, touching on themes that resonate throughout history and even into the New Testament.
Absolutely.
Makes you wonder if it was intentionally woven into the larger biblical narrative.
It's not a coincidence.
Okay.
Exodus 15 is more than just a historical account.
Yeah.
It's a foundation upon which later biblical writers built upon, drawing parallels and deepening the understanding of God's interaction with humanity.
Right.
Take the parting of the Red Sea, for example.
Okay.
It wasn't just about escaping Pharaoh.
Right.
It foreshadows the powerful imagery of baptism in the New Testament. This idea of passing through water to symbolize a death to the old self.
Yeah.
And a rebirth into a new life.
It's like the Israelites' physical journey mirrors a spiritual transformation that would be more fully realized with the coming of Jesus.
Absolutely.
And speaking of Jesus, didn't he perform a miracle with water?
He did.
That echoes the story at Marah? I'm thinking of the wedding at Cana, where he turned water into wine.
You're spot on.
Yeah.
And it's not just that he turned water into wine.
Yeah.
It was the best wine he'd ever tasted.
Right.
So both at Marah and Cana, we see this motif of transformation. Something bitter or inadequate is made sweet and abundant.
Okay.
It's a beautiful illustration of how God can take our struggles, our Marahs, and not just alleviate them, but use them to bring about something even better than we could have imagined.
It speaks to a God who is actively involved in our lives, working to redeem even the most difficult situations.
Absolutely.
It's like he's constantly inviting us to trust him.
Yeah.
To see the potential for good, even in the midst of hardship.
Right.
And this theme of trust is further reinforced with the image of God guiding the Israelites through the wilderness. Right. A theme that is echoed in the New Testament with Jesus as the Good Shepherd, leading his flock.
Exactly. It's not just about escaping hardship.
Right.
It's about surrendering to a loving guide who knows a better path for us, a path that leads to spiritual nourishment and ultimately to a place of peace and fulfillment. Exodus 15, in many ways, lays the groundwork for understanding this relationship between God and his people.
So even though the chapter itself doesn't explicitly mention Jesus or the New Testament concepts, it sets the stage for those ideas to unfold.
Absolutely.
It's like we're given a glimpse of the bigger picture, a hint of the deeper spiritual realities that would be revealed later on.
And that's the beauty of Scripture.
Yeah.
It's a tapestry of interconnected stories and themes that build upon each other, revealing more and more of God's character and his plan for humanity.
As we bring this deep dive to a close, I'm left with a sense of awe at how this ancient chapter, Exodus 15, speaks so powerfully to the human experience, both then and now.
It's a timeless story of liberation, of doubt and faith, of hardship and provision. But ultimately, it's a story of hope
A hope rooted in a God who is constantly at work, guiding us, providing for us, and transforming us into the people he created us to be. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Exodus 15.
It was a pleasure.
We hope you've discovered new insights and been inspired by the timeless truths found within this remarkable chapter.
It is a remarkable chapter.
Until next time, may you experience the hope and resilience that come from knowing a God who walks beside you.
Absolutely.
Offering guidance, love, and the promise of a brighter tomorrow.